Hello students, we're going to start with the first lesson on finding the APR, the annual percentage rate. Okay, so first, let me show you how the table is going to work. You're going to be using the table on page 794 in the back of your book. And at the top, you have the annual percentage rate, or the APR. And then it's going to go in order. So 2%, 2.25, it goes in increments of 0.25. So it's easy to find when you know what you need. So let's say you need 12%. So here you have 9, 10, 11, and then 12, and so on, all the way up to 22.25. And then you have the number of payments. So the problem will tell you how many payments, and then you're going to look for the amount in here, and you're going to see what APR matches. So just keep that table handy. You can put something to separate the page, 794 and 795. And I'll post up a picture of the notes. So for this section, this is the formula that you need. You're going to find the finance charge for every $100 that you borrow. So it's 100 times the finance charge, which the problem gives you, or you calculate, times the amount financed. So let's look at an example. If you want to follow along, this is on page 300 of your book. So let's say that you're going to get a loan for $1,500, and you're going to have that loan for 18 months. And the finance charge, which is what you pay for borrowing that money, is $146 with 25 cents. So the question is, what is the APR? So we're going to use this formula. We're going to find the finance charge per $100. So I'm going to write that down. Finance charge per $100. And the formula says 100, so I'm going to put 100 times the finance charge, which is here. It's 146.25. divided by the amount financed, which is the entire amount that you're borrowing, and that would be 1,500. So divide this by 1,500 and then multiply by 100. And if you do that, you can use decimals, the one that you were using before. You get 9.75. But the question is, what is the APR? So we're going to use the answer, which is the 9.75, and we're going to use the time, which was 18 months. And using those two things, we're going to look up the APR in the back of the book on pages 794 and 795. Okay, so again, I'm going to use the 18 months and the answer that I got, the finance charge per $100, which is 9.75. So then I'm going to go to the back of the book, and I'm going to go to 18 months. Okay, so see 18 months, and the amount I'm looking for is 9.75. So this is 360, 380. So I keep going down. Okay, so here we're getting closer, and I have to go to the next page. So you see right here where it says 18 months. This is page 795. I need to find the amount 9.75. So if that's not there, you find the closest one. So that would be 9.77. That would be the closest one to 9.75. And then if you go up, it gives you the APR, which is 12%. So I use the 18 months and the 9.75, but I got the closest one, and then 12%. So the APR is 12%. So that's what I'm going to put here. And again, I got that by looking up the 18 months and the 9.75. Okay, so in class, I usually give you a problem for you to try on your own. Okay, so what I would like you to do is pause the video, do this problem, and then come back and see if you got the right answer. Okay, so assuming you did that, I'll go over it so that you can check to see if you got the same answer. So it's the same thing, find the APR. So we'll start with the formula, which is the finance charge per $100, and that would be 100 times the finance charge, which is 24.64, divided by the amount financed, which is what you're borrowing. In this case, it's $800. So again, use Desmos, and you get $3.08. So we're gonna use that answer along with the 6 months. And then we go to the book. Okay, so 6 months, and we need to find 3.08. Okay, so it's gonna be around here. Okay, here it is. You see right here, 3.08. And if it's not exact, you get the closest one. But this one's there exactly. So for 6 months, 3.08, this is the APR. It's right above it, 10.5%. So that's gonna be the APR. So the answer for this one is APR is 10.5%. And then I'll do one more example because this one's a little bit more complicated. There's a TV that's on sale for $18.99 with 92 cents, and you can pay it cash, and that's all you would pay, or you can pay it in payments, and it'll be $166 for 12 months. So the question is find the APR. And again, in order to find the APR, I have to use this formula. So I need the finance charge and the amount financed. So if you go back to your notes from the previous lesson, the finance charge would be what you would pay in total if you pay in payments. So it says 166.10 for 12 months. So if you choose to make payments instead of paying it all at once, you're going to end up paying $1,993 with 20 cents. Or you can pay it all cash. So the difference between paying it in payments and paying it in cash is the finance charge. So the finance charge will be the 1993.20 minus 1899.92. So that's 93.28. That's the finance charge. That's what you pay for paying it in payments instead of all at once. And then from here, we need to know what's the amount financed. So if you just borrow it, if you pay it in payments instead of paying it all at once, what is it that you're going to finance? So the amount financed would be 1,899.92. And then from here, we're going to use the same formula that we used for the previous two examples. What's the finance charge per $100? And the answer would be 100 times the finance charge, which we calculated to be 93.28, divided by the amount that you'll be borrowing. So you need to borrow the cost of the TV, which is 1,899.92. So again, put that in the calculator like Desmos, and you get 4.91. So I'm gonna get this and the months, 12 months. And then I'm gonna go to the table on page 794, 795, and I'm gonna look for 4.91 12 months. Okay, so I go to 12 months here, and I need to find 4.91. Okay, because 4.91 is in there, we pick the closest one, which is 4.94. So you see 12 and then 4.94, and the APR is 9%. So that's what the APR would be. Okay, so just to review, you're going to be using this formula for all the problems. If they give you the finance charge, you use it. If they don't, you find that first. And then you divide it by the amount financed, which is the total amount that you have to borrow. You multiply it by 100, and then you go to the back of the table and you need two things. For how many months you have the loan, and then the finance charge per $100. And then you get those two things, and you go to the table and you look for the months and then the amount. If the exact one's not there, you get the closest one, and then you find what the APR is. So the APR is the percentages that are going across. So this is a lesson, and then I'll be available online if you have any questions.